Hello gamers, so recently I've been watching Love to Draw Manga's series where she draws herself into anime scenes, and I thought it'd be fun to do that with webtoons. So I picked 3 webtoons to draw myself into. I'll be leaving links to all of them in the description. I also recommend watching Love to Draw Manga's video series as well. As a side note, I'll only be doing originals in this video. If you'll like this vid and want to see more, I'll see if I can do Canvas series too. Also, there may be mild spoilers present in this video. I won't be discussing any spoilers, and I tried to pick panels that weren't too spoilery, but with some I had to go with later episodes because of art style changes throughout the series. I want to use the most recent style, to be fair. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first series I picked is I'm the Grim Reaper by Graveweaver. I chose this comic mainly because I actually have a Reaper persona, and this gave me an excuse to draw them. You might have noticed I'm tracing here. As Love to Draw Manga says in her videos, I'm just doing this for fun, and if I didn't, the art would be in my style rather than the comics. It wouldn't look convincing. I'm not trying to claim this is all my art, I'm just having fun here. Anyway, back to the comic. Another reason I picked this one is because, well, I just really love this series. If you don't know what it's about a girl named Scarlet who becomes a Grim Reaper to postpone her sentence in hell. She can't remember why she was sent to hell though, and the story is about her figuring out what happened. This comic has so many cool characters and fight scenes, and I'm a sucker for the red and black colour palette. I even bought merch for it. Yes, really. I highly recommend checking it out, if only to see so many amazing panels. And of course, the story that leaves me shook every episode. Honestly, I have much more to say, and I've been thinking about making a full video about this comic, but we'll see. Drawing process didn't go too bad, although I had some trouble with the hands. I mean, drawing hands in my own style is hard enough, but drawing them in a different style is a whole other thing. I did have to redo the line art a few times. Luckily, I didn't have to do this with the future redesigns. I also altered the colours slightly to fit in more with the comics colour palette. The part was definitely blurring out my art at the end. I had to mess around with the settings quite a bit. The hair was pretty easy to do though. After I finished recording, I added some new stuff which I didn't record, so the end product looks a little bit different. I'm kinda mixed on how it came out overall, but this is the first time I've ever done something like this, so... Next up is Pseudo Armor by Purpa. This comic is about lady-in-waiting Lucia, hopefully I'm saying that right, who is a fairy and has to hide the fact that she's a fairy from humans. While Grim Reaper had me sucked in from the first episode, this one took a little bit longer to grow on me, but once it did, it had me hooked. I really don't want to spoil anything else about the plot, but man, this comic gets very interesting later on, that's all I'm gonna say. Give it a good chance if you check it out, you might just get just as hooked. I should note that the outfit I drew my persona in here wasn't designed by me. I'll put the designer's name up on screen. Y'all should check them out. Because this comic is set in a medieval period, I couldn't put my persona in their usual hoodie, so I went with this outfit instead. I think it came out pretty good. The designer did a really good job. fan of this comic's art style. It's definitely one of the more unique ones I've seen. I had a bit of trouble with the legs, but overall this went pretty smoothly. It also took less time since there's pretty much no shading. I also didn't record myself adding shading where my persona is sitting, so whoops. But there we go, it's all done. And the last comic is City of Blank by 66. I tried to pick comics from 3 different genres and art styles. This one took me a bit of time to get my base sorted out, as you can see. Those legs and hands caused me a lot of problems, same with the clothing folds. Anyway, City of Blank is about this guy named Rex who lives in a world full of creatures called blanks that can steal your face if you're not wearing a mask. He's on the hunt for his brother's killer. It's a really interesting series with a lot of angst and funny moments, especially with the main boy himself. There's also plenty of cool character designs as well. I love all the masks in this comic, and the fight scenes as well. Once again, definitely check this one out, it had me hooked right from the start. Because everyone wears masks, of course I had to give my persona a mask, so I just put some trash cans on their face. I realised I drew my persona in different outfits for every comic panel here, and this is the only one I actually drew them in their usual outfit, aside from the mask of course. The shading threw me through a loop, since it's not what I'm used to, but it made more sense once I made the line art dark blue. If I do this video again, I'd like to draw some of my actual OCs into comic scenes. Well, we'll see how it goes. This is definitely the most shading I had to do out of all of these. It was an interesting experience. I love the way the artist does shading. It must take forever to draw though. Making these panels makes you realise how long it must take the original artist to make these updates. There's no way I'd be able to draw like 60 panels a week without going crazy. And we're done. I think the Pseudo Armor one turned out the best, but what do you guys think? Should I do this series again? Let me know. Thanks for watching.
Hey, just wondering if you got your photos printed?
Logos minted?
What?